real leisure and work and amusement. This video, we want to bring a few things together. I'm going to invite you to look first at the videos on leisure and on work and amusement. And here is kind of the final clarification. You could even call this kind of the meaning of life from the viewpoint of nature. I want to begin with two images I want to give you. First, I want you to picture yourself, say, in a situation where just having finished doing your chores, whatever they might be, feeding the pigs, whatever, you come to the very bench that I'm sitting on, and this bench is turned around and it's facing the other way, and you sit down and you watch the sun on the mountain as the sun is going down, and you have this incredibly powerful moment of joy and of peace where you're experiencing the astoundingly beneficent, beautiful, providential order of things. Here's another image. You're with your family, you're around the dinner table, and it's Christmas Day. The people you love most in life are there. You're rejoicing together. You're celebrating. What are you celebrating? You're celebrating a truth that's the central truth in your life, and you're together in that, experiencing it together. Both of these are great examples of what Aristotle would call leisure, real leisure. Let's go back to how Aristotle defined leisure. Activity that has its meaning in itself. Activity that is pursued for its own sake, because it has its meaning from within. This activity, in Aristotle's mind, provides the first principle of all meaning in life. We, in that same video, raised the issue of the relationship of leisure and work. We said you could take human life, in a sense, divided into times that you're working and then times that you're free from work, which we could call, at least loosely, leisure, even if we don't have the rich sense that Aristotle does. And so we raised the question, how would those two times relate? Would the one be for the sake of the other, or the other for the sake of the other? Is work for the sake of the free time from work, or is the free time from work basically for the sake of going back to work? Aristotle, we work for the sake of leisure. We work for the sake of that time when we're free from work, so that then, even if not in long stretches, even if just in little pieces, we can engage in the kind of activity that has its meaning from within. Let's see how, seeing life in this way, everything fits together. Work then is for the sake of leisure, leisure understood in this rich sense. Work gets its true meaning from that. Work doesn't have the burden of trying to supply life with its meaning. Work takes on new meaning in itself. It has meaning in a sense within, because it's serving something outside of it, which is greater than it. There's something worth working for. There's something worth stopping working for. We don't have here the tyranny of work. We have work in its proper place. How then does amusement fit in here? Amusement as something that is also done when you're free from work, but distinguished from leisure. It's a lighter form of things that are sought for their own sake, but not with a deeper significance or richness in themselves. It's more of the pleasant activity that's kind of diverting. It's a diversion, say, from work. It allows you to kind of rest up, rejuvenate in some kind of a simple, straightforward kind of way. Amusement, then, properly understood in Aristotle's view, would be for the sake of both work and leisure. In other words, it's a time where you kind of rest up, rejuvenate, so that you can go back to something more serious, work, or even more serious, leisure. So you see, in this way, everything is in its place. Amusement is understood for what it is, but it doesn't have the burden of trying to provide the meaning for life, which would be the tyranny of amusement. No, rather, amusement can be hearty and full and have meaning in it, especially in as much as it's not the ultimate source of meaning, but ultimately is part of a well-ordered life in service of other meaning. Getting you ready to go back to rich work that's understood then in view of richer activities that the work itself serves in various and sundry ways. So I circle back. Think of those times of plenitude, those times when we're most alive, when you're on this bench, turned around, not just looking or staring, dare I say, contemplating, resting in a sunset. This is not amusement. This is not work. This is something deeply rich. Maybe someone comes up and sits down next to you and joins with you. Oh, joy. Or let's go back to that Christmas celebration. Again, we're in various and sundry ways with exterior manifestations that can be very important. But there's an inner richness in being together, in resting together, in seeing something together. What you see here is something very powerful that we're going to have another video on to talk more about what Aristotle calls contemplation, and how various aspects of contemplation or contemplative spirit show up in various kinds of human activities. Real leisure and work and amusement all fit together in an astoundingly beautiful way in that amazing thing called a well-ordered human life.